Baruch Adonai.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Asher kiddushanu.
Asher kiddushanu.
B'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav.
B'tzivanu.
B'tzivanu.
V'hitateh.
V'hitateh.
B'tzitzi.
B'tzitzi.
So,
Thank you.
the other thing I'm gonna ask is that since we're such a small group,
Now.
that we all participate. So in front of you, you have a prayer book, a siddur. I invite you to join with us when we sing, to read along with Jesse, and to be part of this momentous and special occasion with us. So we're going to start together on page 1. For those who are not used to a Jewish prayer book, it is, for you, might be reversed. So we're starting on page 1, singing Hine Matov, how good it is that we're all here together.
May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed, who is all who spend themselves for the good of humanity, and bear the burdens of others, who give bread to the hungry, clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure,
and may the good seed they are sowing bring forth an abundant harvest. We thank you, O God, for this time of prayer when we become conscious of your presence. For you, our desires, our hopes, and our gratitude. This consciousness, this inner certainty of your presence is our greatest blessing. May the gleams of your light, the visions of your truth, which bless us here, abide us when we go out in the world, keeping us steadfast in loyalty to you and your commandments. Amen.
And we continue on page 2. Will you please rise? Yitkada v'yitkada shmei rabba v'yamad yivra kirutei v'yamnich malchutei v'chayechon yomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael bagala u'bizman kariv v'meru amen yehi shmei rabba mivorach Le'alam ulam me'amaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitbar v'groma v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei d'kudusha brichu Le'la min kol birchata v'shirata Tushvichata v'nechemata Damiran mi'alma V'meru. Amen. We continue on the top of page 3. Adonai, Amen. continue together, reading together with Jesse on page 5.
You create light and darkness, the possibility of peace within a warring world, all forms and creatures who acknowledge their only common bond in you. You open daily the gates of the east, cleave the windows of the sky, bring forth the sun from its place, the moon its abode. The sky, the sun, the moon are far from us, yet their Creator created us, and so their world is ours,
Their light
and
is
is
ours.
ours. Though we must often gather up in their light,
from the
dark places where it has fallen, bring forth their light that ours may shine anew. You have created light, our praise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Ahuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated.
Oh God.
And then right into the English on the next page, right?
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol ha'ushol nafshecha u'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzvcha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlektecha v'derech uvshokbacha uvchumecha uvshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beininecha uvshavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvesharecha laman tizkaru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kiddushim ve'elolehem Ani Adonai Elohim Asher Hotzeti Ehem Mi Eretz Mitzrayim Lot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohim.
We read together with Jesse on page 6.
After the ceremonial catering?
It's out of here.
I would get the one with the bad cap. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these words which I command you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Bind them as a sign on your hand. Let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am your God. Who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your God.
We'll continue singing Mi Chamocha on page 7. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Continue on the top of page 8. Please rise. Where is page 8?
That's my question.
That's okay. We'll do this first and then we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, so go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Emotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Gomil Hasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Hasadei Avot V'Yimhot Umevi Ge'ula V'Nehem Laman Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Hozer, Umoshia Umagain, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magain Abraham Bezrat Sarah.
We continue reading together. We'll go back to that.
Oh, okay.
Together on top of page 9. Praise
Praise the God of our fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. Praise be the God of our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, of Leah, and of Rachel.
Praise be the
The
source of strength
It's and love,
the
source of science and ugliness. Praise be the gentleness and love of silent and kind words. Praise be the man who transcends strength through gentleness. Praise be the man who perfects gentleness through strength.
Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others.
Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Praise be the God who created divinity, a woman and a man.
At this time, I'd like to call up Nana Nancy. She probably has her own.
I don't think she does.
Oh,
She's not that type of person.
she has it in her hand.
Oh, she does. Look at that.
Because I did a little rewrite,
Oh, she did.
and my cat ate part of the page.
Oh.
All right, so, Jesse, it's my joy to remind you of... It's my joy to remind you of a few things in your life. Remember that your presence is a present to the world, that you are unique, that your life can be what you want it to be. Remember to take the days just one at a time, to count your blessings, not your troubles, and that you'll make it through whatever comes along. Remember that most of the answers you need are within you, that those dreams are waiting to be realized. That decisions are too important to leave to chance. Remember to always reach for the best that is within you, that nothing wastes more energy than worry, and that not getting what you want is sometimes a blessing.
Okay.
Remember that the longer you carry a grudge, the heavier it gets, that you shouldn't take things too seriously, that a little love goes a long way, and a lot goes on forever, like my love for you. Remember that happiness is more often found in giving than getting, that life's treasures are people, not things, and that miracles do happen. And remember that God loves you and I love you. You are the son of my son, and I love you so much.
Sorry about your eye.
That's okay.
You're stepping on. Well, you're a mess. Okay. We didn't.
We continue reading on page 9.
Ata gibor leolam Adonai, mehaye hakol rav leoshea, mehayel hayim bechesed, mehaye hakol berachamim rabim, so mech noflim virofei holim, umatir asurim, kayem emunato lishnei afar, mihamocha ba'al givorot. Umido melach, melech me'mit, chaye, umatmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lechachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. You are the spiritual strength, renewing life, great power to save. You sustain the living with loving kindness. You give life to all with great compassion. You support those who fall, heal the sick, release the captives, and keep faith with those that sleep in the dust. Who is like you? Who is similar to you? O God, in whose hands are death and life, and who causes salvation to bring forth. Blessed is God, the source of life.
I'd like to call it Jashi Linda.
Yes. That was very good.
I had a Jesse.
I like
My page wasn't even there. It wasn't even marked.
To my darling Jessie, if I could teach you, I would teach you love. From love comes strength. to respect others so that you find respect in yourself, to learn the value of giving a supporting hand and accepting a supporting hand, to act in a manner that you wish to be treated, to be proud of yourself, to laugh and smile and bring joy into the lives of those who you, what is it?
Says tough.
Typo. Those who you love.
There we go.
Okay, to have faith in others, to be tolerant and understanding, to stand tall with your head up high as you go through life, to learn and appreciate the people who love you, the simple beauty that God has given, and to find peace, strength, courage, and compassion with others. Mwah.
Yeah.
Yay, good job, Joe.
I love that necklace.
Good.
Good.
Well, when you find a nice girl, we'll have several for her. Waiting for her, not to worry.
Not to worry.
I was very concerned.
So this time we turn to page 13.
You did good.
And we continue singing Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom B'Ramah, U'ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Now we've come to the part of our service where Jesse is going to be reading from the Torah. So will you all please rise? We continue, we sing Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. You may all be seated. Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
That's really cute. We're going to close this for a minute. We're going to put this...
Oh, it's there.
Yeah. Put it right there so that we can read.
I forgot. What's this
So, when we read the Torah, we first call up someone to the Torah to help bless and be part of this. This is one of the beautiful things about Judaism is we don't do anything. We don't do anything alone. Everything is done as a community. And even as Jesse is called to the Torah, he is not alone. His family and those who love him are with him. And so for the first Aliyah, I call up Grandfather Greg. Make sure you just hold this so it doesn't
Yeah.
blow away.
I had like a paperweight. Yeah. It should work. It's a pretty light piece of paper. It should work. Yeah.
This wind,
Here he comes.
Okay. So where are we? Okay. Baruch Adonai Hambaroch.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach
Le'olam
Le'olam
Ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambaroch Olam Be'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bacharbonu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Jesse's going to read, and then you're going to bless it.
Okay.
Vayidaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Shalach Lecha Anashim Vayaturu Et Eretz Canaan Asher Ani Noten Livnei Yisrael Ishichad Lemate Avotav Tishlachu Kol Nasi Vahem Vayishlach Otam Moshe Mimidbar Paran Al Pi Adonai Kulam Anashim Rash Yisrael Hema Vele Shemotam Limate Ruvain Shor
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Be'emet V'chayo Olam Nata B'chotenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Okay,
That's it.
okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's not have you. Dad.
Okay, come on.
Rachel. Is it just you? And now I call to, as an Aliyah, Rachel.
Can I have a Gatorade, please, Mom?
You want a Gatorade? No. He did it so well, I already forgot the... Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bakar Bano Mikol Hamim V'tan Wanatu Et Torado. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
You did better than me on my first try. Lemate Shimon Zafat Ben Hori. Lemate Yehuda Kalev Ben Yefaneh. Lemate Yisizkar Yigal Ben Yosef. Lemate Ephraim Hoshea Ben Nun. Lemate Binyamin Palti Ben Rafu. Lemate Zebulun. Yeah.
Every time. There we go. Drink.
Lemate Zebulun Gadel Ben Sodi. Lemate Yosef. Lemate Menashe Gadi Ben Susi.
This is well. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Temet V'chayei Olam Nata Bo-Katenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Didn't you go to school for singing?
It didn't work out.
Actually, Rachel, stay up here. Rachel.
Yeah. Come on.
And Brandon.
Brandon.
Dad.
Come on up.
He doesn't want to come
Flying up my
naked.
bald spot.
There's special keyboard for those, actually. Okay. And now we call to the Torah our bar mitzvah man, boy, Jesse. Man boy. Oh, here, you know it?
I know it ish.
You know it ish?
Here.
Take the book.
Take the book. Yeah. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Lamate Dan Amiel Ben Gamli. Lamate Asher Satur Ben Michael. Lamate Naphtali Nakbi Ben Vafsi. Lamate Gad Guel Ben Mahi. Ele Shemot Ha'anashim Asher Shalach Moshe LaToret Haaretz V'Yikra Moshe LaHoshe Ben Nun Yehoshua.
Right. Excellent.
I've done better. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu et Torah Emet V'Hayei Olam Nata B'Toheinu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Excellent. So you can put your, be with Jesse, put your hands on him. Oh, just hold on, both of you. Both of you.
I'm both your child.
Jesse, I'm so happy to be here to celebrate with you on this special day and your family. I've gotten to know you over the past year and a half. Even though it's been Zoom, I feel like I've known you and your mom, who I've said should be sort of, I should write a TV show around. But becoming a bar mitzvah is a moment in time when we celebrate your growth, your maturity, your accomplishments, and there's so much to celebrate. Jesse, you are an incredibly funny, kind, loyal kid, and in getting to know you and your mom over the past year and a half, I've really gotten to know you, and I've always looked forward to my time working with you. It's been a pleasure. I've had a ton of laughs. Got to see the dog a lot, and I should have been seeing you, but you know that's okay. Your knowledge has astounded me, and I will definitely hold you to the offer to wire my house, my new house in August. So I'm very excited about that.
He'll be there.
I know. You love spending time with your family and friends, and while I know that COVID was a challenge for all of us, you made the best of it and showed your resilience and your perseverance. Your Torah portion today teaches about the 12 spies that Moses sent into the Promised Land to scout it out. 10 of those spies returned with a negative report, feeling scared and unworthy, as if they were grasshoppers in the eyes of the inhabitants. 2 of those spies, Caleb and Joshua, returned filled with optimism, promise, noting that the land is filled with milk and honey. In your life, as you go forward in this moment, may you be like Joshua and Caleb, filled with optimism for life, of what life has in store for you, and the confidence to pursue it. And now I'd like to give you the priestly benediction that has been passed down for thousands of years. So if we hold on to Jesse, we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God turn his face to you and grant you peace. And we all say together, Amen.
Amen.
And now you can give a big kiss, and hug.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Hi.
And you two can have a seat.
Okay.
Thank you. And now we're going to read your speech.
Mom.
Shocking. Shocking news.
Where is it? I saw something. There we go.
That's right here.
Oh, no, yeah, look at that. Hey. No. Hello, and thank you for coming today to celebrate my bar mitzvah.
Slower.
No. My Torah portion is Parshat Shalach, and it's a really unbelievable story. It leads to one asking, does God punish? People always say he doesn't, but this is the one story where he kind of does. Here's what happens. It starts off innocently. God instructs Moses to appoint 12 men, one from each of the 12 tribes, and tells them to travel to Israel to scout out the land. My dad does this too. He scouts out land to see if it's good for development. But back to Moses. He poses some questions to the men. Is the land good or bad? Is it fertile? Do a lot of people live here? And if yes, are they strong or are they weak? The spies go and travel around, and after 40 days, they return with some fruit they picked and a report of what they found. The report starts off well enough that the land flows with milk and honey, which basically means it's good land, but that's where the good news ends. The spies say that it is a land that, quote, devours its inhabitants, and the people in the land are so mighty we cannot go up against them. So now, everyone is too scared to proceed and would rather just go back to Egypt. All except for Caleb and Joshua. Despite trying to convince people they can conquer the land, it's of no use. My midpoint drink. Yes, the land looks scary, but how could they have doubted that God would help them conquer it? So now, God gets angry and punishes them, because he is so mad that the spies aren't willing to try, that they've quit, that he orders the entire generation to die in the wilderness and never get the chance to enter this land. Only Caleb and Joshua get to live. Again, I didn't think of God as a punishing type, so what is he trying to teach us here? Why would anyone love a punishing God? I mean, did the spies do something so horrible that it warranted death? When you look at Caleb and Joshua and see how courageous they are, we can understand why everyone else was punished. They stood up and weren't afraid to speak their minds. Even if their opinion was unpopular, after the speech, the other spies tried to stone them to death. Nevertheless, they weren't deterred. Moses died 40 years later, and Joshua ended up leading the people into the promised land. And Caleb got an inheritance there too in his old age. In the end, God blessed both Caleb and Joshua for doing the right thing, not quitting and never give up. Let's say I could learn a thing or two from Joshua and Caleb. In my life, I may have signed up for things and decided pretty quickly that it wasn't for me, like soccer or track. But in defense, my mother made me do it. I don't always take my time to try my best to see things through. We learned about this in school. It's better to have a growth mindset like Caleb and Joshua than a fixed mindset like the rest of the spies. You should try and believe you can do anything you set your mind to, and not quit before you start. In this parshat, quitting could literally lead to your demise, and seeing things through to the end could lead to great rewards. And who doesn't like inheritance? I built a computer last summer and it had lots of moving parts. Things broke, but I didn't quit. Yes, I needed my mother to drive me to the store all year to get it right, but I really wanted it to work. The lesson here is to never shut down and always try to reboot. Because if customer service has taught us anything, it's that rebooting solves most of your problems. I have friends here today who are great role models and I really respect them. Matt plays tennis and made the varsity high school team. Wes plays travel soccer and practices a lot. My cousin Luke is a soccer referee and he always tries his best because he knows how hard the task. My mom took 12 years to finish college, but she did it. And my dad, he drives hours a day and works so hard even if he is miserable, because he wants to take care of me and Mom. The person who is here today and would never quit this year is my grandpa. I am so glad you are here with us today and that you not only survived COVID, but you're better than ever. I can't wait to go wakeboarding behind your new boat and watch you eat lobbies with Dad. I want to thank all of you for coming to my service, and I look forward to having a party in September being done with all these masks and hand sanitizer. I want to thank Brad for stepping in when Rabbi Stacey couldn't conduct the service. I went to Hebrew school and had another tutor before her, but I can definitely say Brad was better. Until today, we only met in person a couple of times, but he was great over FaceTime. I really liked it when his kids came into the room and bothered him, because that was just funny. I want to thank my parents for making me stick with this, because it was not only important to them, but my grandparents. My Nana brought this tallis that my dad wore at his bar mitzvah. She has been looking forward to this day for a long time. I am so glad I could do this for you. So glad I could do this for you in June, because I know you wouldn't like it if you were cold out. There's one person, though, who is not here today, and she wanted to be here more than anything. My grandma loved to tell her friends I was going to be bar mitzvah. She talked with my mom about what she should wear and also paid for the rabbi, now Brad, because she wanted to contribute something. She was always so generous. When she called me on the phone, I would say, "Hello, is this Capital One? How may I help you?" It was our little joke. She always told me how important it was to be Jewish. I hope I made you proud today and you're watching from above. Sure. This is yours. This is mine.
Yes.
Oh.
We're good.
Oh.
You're all good.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no rest for you.
Yay!
Please rise as we return the Torah to the Ark. and we sing together on page 18. Aleinu l'shabbat l'adon hakol l'tikru l'alev sebreshit shelo sanikagoye haratzot shelo samanu k'mishpachot hadama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam v'anachnu korim Umistachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. Continue on page 19. And as Jesse so beautifully mentioned, we are remembering today Grandma Loretta, who is an inspiration to you and to your family. And this is what becoming a bar mitzvah is. As I said before, it's a chain of tradition that you are now a link in. And we do this. So let us join together in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me'raba v'yalma divrach v'yoteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei al-maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. You may all be seated.
Except you.
Except you.
I'll take your seat.
You can.
My next year.
I gotta get my shit together.
Alright.
I'd like to begin with this quick story about why we're here in this yard today. When Jesse was 10 months old, we went to Kids U, a play gym where I was hoping to meet friends, and sure enough, a little blonde boy had squeaked into the class despite not being 11 months either. You were 2 days apart in age, yet he walked, and I immediately panicked that something was wrong with you. The real estate agent who sold us our house had told me she sold the house to another young family and to call her, but I was too shy and I didn't. Of course, that family was the Woodworths, and that advanced walker was Wes. I thank you for letting us use your beautiful yard today and for your friendship. Jesse, when was the last time I changed your diaper? Can I have a tissue so I don't have to keep? Thanks.
One time ago.
Well, hopefully. When was the last time I could pick you up and carry you on my hip? When was the last time I rocked you to sleep or fed you with a spoon? The moments we want to remember are sadly not memorable. And then you wake up and it's your bar mitzvah, and I have no idea how we got to this place and this moment. Your father and I were married 9 years before having you. I was selfish and never even held a baby. But your father, he was made for this moment. He dreamt what it would be like to have a child. And I knew he would be the dad I never had. And I vowed to bring this dream to fruition for him. 3 days after a positive pregnancy test, I ran to the doctor after some spotting, sorry TMI, and she said you weren't viable and to come in for an abortion.
Okay.
I cried into my pillow for hours, realizing how badly I wanted to be a mother, your mother. I wanted this as much as your father did. Your Nana, who always seems to be here during difficult times,
Except when she's not.
came with me,
There
thank
she
you,
is. The detective.
Hi.
to the hospital, only to be turned away. The doctor said the lab made a mistake I was still pregnant and to go home. We got back into the car, and since your Nana is the
So
praying
technically,
type,
you were a mistake.
I said I'll pray to Burger King if I have to that nothing happens to you. And 9 months later, here you were. Of course, Daddy didn't believe me. I was in labor and found me in the emergency room hyperventilating and on all fours screaming and cursing. 13 hours later, 4 hours of pushing and a vacuum extraction, you were here, so beautiful, that the nurse came back the next day to
Do we have a
see
vomit
you.
bucket?
Most babies vacuumed out looked like eggheads, but you escaped that fate. The first couple of days were a blur of bliss, and my only complaint was that I didn't buy a wipes warmer because changing your diaper with a cold wipe made you very upset. You clearly inherited the Kvetch gene, and I apologize. On day 5 of your life, the unthinkable happened to me, and I woke up in the hospital 24 hours after the worst headache of my life, and I realize now that that was the moment I became a mother. After a seizure and total confusion as to why I was in a hospital bed and thinking I was being led last rites, the first thing I said was, "Where's Jessie?" Because you before me and your life before mine. I lived a lot of my own life in fear. I never climbed the monkey bars at the playground, and I never raised my hand in class. And I tried very hard not to instill fears into you, and I don't always succeed. I talk myself off the ledge when you go skiing, telling myself, yes, he has judgment. Ooh.
No, I don't.
While in Jackson Hole this year, you got lost from Dad on the mountain, and I freaked out, and it made you keep me on the phone in your pocket while you swished down to the base. I realized you weren't such a baby.
I shouldn't have called her.
You had turned into a very capable young man, one that makes safe choices, has empathy for strangers, and puts air in your mom's tires while I sit in the car. Apparently, you're not helpless. Which means you should get your own drink from the fridge more often. Because
It's so far, though.
I don't work for you, you know. Your whole life you have been driven by interests that maybe I didn't understand. We'd go to the zoo and you wanted to play with a garden hose. At an aquarium you were more fascinated with how a sink worked. At tennis lessons you were more interested in keeping score. You've carved out your own niche at school, and people know you as the tech kid. If a printer is jammed or a smart board needs repair, everyone seems to know to come and get you. Before the pandemic, the music department gave you permission to run the soundboard at all of the school shows. Why? Because you watch every video on YouTube and learned how to use it. Because when you set your mind to learning something, you do it. We don't have children to live out our dreams. While we joke about you going to MIT, our goal is for you to be happy and successful in whatever you choose to do. Today, if I asked you what you wanted to be when you grow up, the answer is drop shipping entrepreneur. Don't ask me, I don't know either. But when you were 3, you wanted to be a police officer, and at 6, it was an astronaut. And I just asked you to be open-minded, and even when you think school has no point, like when you ask why do you need to know the sexual parts of a plant, rest assured it will come in handy one day while we're watching Jeopardy. You have been extremely blessed to go places and experience incredible things in your 13 years, more than I or your father ever did. You've gone to the Boeing factory and flown on the top deck of a 747 because we wanted to fulfill your aviator geek dreams. You got to the top of the Eiffel Tower with tickets you found on the internet at 7 a.m. in the morning. And you've eaten chocolate-covered strawberries out of a golden bowl in Lake Como, which is an inside joke. People say you're spoiled. You're spoiled.
Okay.
I will not dispute this fact, but I want you to be thankful for what you have and understand how lucky you are. Because if you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Driving you home from Greenwich Hospital, I sat with you in the back seat, watching you breathe as you slept. In My Life by the Beatles came on the radio. And as you inhaled, I exhaled in a torrent of tears, crying for the beautiful life your father and I created. I wept and I told him, I will dance with Jesse at his bar mitzvah to this song. And this beautiful moment was interrupted by the Amore pizza delivery driver who ran the stop sign at School Street and nearly plowed into our car. And for the record, he's still delivering pizza and he's a menace.
He's a menace.
What a crazy 18 months it's been. You've been through so much. I'm so proud of you that you stuck with this that you understood the gravity of this ceremony, how important it is to be Jewish, if not religiously, but culturally. It means so much to us, but especially to your grandparents. This is a rite of passage that you won't ever regret doing, and I promise you that. But what you might regret is, come September, when we'll hopefully have a big party to celebrate this day, we will step on each other's feet, and you will be horribly embarrassed. But we will dance to In My Life. Because in my life, Jesse, I've loved you more.
I gotta give a standing ovation. And here you go.
That mine?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Go on.
Well, I want to thank the Barron family for.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
Oh!
Thanks.
I'm responsible for anything he does.
I'll go in work and sit.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want my dirty tissue?
No.
No.
So, since I'm used to bar mitzvahs being the ceremony and then the party right after, I kind of just we'll prepare for the party. Where I'll play In My Life while Rachel dances with Jesse, and I'll make a prepared speech, but I haven't prepared anything because I have no doubt in my heart that the words would come to me. Sorry. Where are the words? Okay, here you go. Thank you so much. I'll take the dirty now. Rachel, you did an incredible job on short notice, so to speak, because no one knew that we would even be able to be together in this way. And this is a beautiful experience. The pride that I have in you is beyond belief. It's your mother's job and my job to teach you what we think we know about life and to try to give you everything that we can so that yours is a strong, beautiful, and successful, happy life. But the things I'm most proud of and the things I love most for are things that we would teach you. They're things that you are. Sorry. You are such a loving and kind and special person. You're so smart. And the way that you care about people and show it and do the right thing has made me so proud that when I see you living as the person that you are, I get more pleasure and more smiles than I could ever get from seeing you having learned from us. I love you more than anything in the world. We will always be there for you. And thank you for being the best son I could ever ask for. I love you.
I need to breathe still.
Okay, go back to breathing now.
So to conclude our ceremony today, we're going to join in together and sing the Kiddush over wine, our symbol of joy. We join together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. We join together in the Motzi, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to the Barron family for allowing me to be here in this special moment.
Thank you for coming.
And for Jesse, amazing job, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Give a big round of applause. Good job.
Isn't there a song?
Thank you.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov. Yeilanu, 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 Uvechol Yisrael. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Uvechol Yisrael.
She's a grandma's cousin. It's very bittersweet. But you know what?
I had ACL surgery.
It's amazing. No.
Amazing.
I give it 25 right now. Where's Marcia? Here you go.
I go.
I don't have a little.
What?
No, Jesse. Jesse, no.
What, this?
You're
right. I never think of stuff like that.
No.
Go away.
Then take one with Gabe. Wait, you with Gabe. Come on, please. No, okay. Here you go. Right here.
Jesse. Yeah, let's go. We get all the
Let's
boys.
get all the boys. Come on. But I gotta show one. He just wants to stick a chair on the end. There you go.
How you doing, Brad? Did a great job.
Now,
Really, like, a little bit more. There you go. Yes.
We've got another handsome guy.
Just right, thank you.
Good. Squeeze in a little bit, boys.
Thank you.
This is my husband, Joseph. Hi, so nice.
All right. Food's ready.
You really are.
I grew up. My family has a special Oh, we
Joe,
my parents
look at the picture of those two best friends.
I grew up on Bayside.
Okay.
I went to Cardozo.
Yeah, I happened to go to the wrong side.
You're an award.
I got busted.